On this inside line, I'm here at Low Range 4x4 doing a little work on my S10, and I want to showcase two 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon builds that are both very practical and tastefully done. So I originally stopped by Low Range because I've been working on my S10 with them. Now, if you're not familiar, I've got a 2001 double cab S10 on 40s. It's linked. We're doing a little fine tuning to it. You'll see more of that on the video, or our video series coming soon. And that's really why I was at Low Range. Now, they were getting ready to pull out these two builds, and I was like, oh wow, they're pretty simple and pretty clean. As more I started looking at them, they were kind of familiar to how I actually built my JL. So I figured, hey, might as well show you guys what is kind of getting built and kind of becoming more commonplace, especially here in the South that I'm seeing at least these builds. So what we have behind me is a 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon, and it is set up with some pretty nice off-the-shelf parts. It's not a super over-the-top Jeep. This is a 4-cylinder turbo automatic, but I guess what's more interesting is, so him and his brother both kind of brought their Jeeps to Low Range to have identical builds. They wheel together, they just both like the same thing. So you're gonna see a white one here and this gray one. The only real difference is the white one has the 3.6 liter engine and has the Mule roof rack from Expedition 1. Now, first let's dive into the suspension. Now, both of these Jeeps are running the Dynatrac EnduroSport Dual Sport Lift. Now, this is a 2-inch suspension kit. It comes with a IFP, which is internal floating piston Fox shock. It's been designed sort of to really work in harmony with the spring rate. Now, I know from experience this is a very lightly valved and sort of very soft suspension kit, which I enjoyed, and I think it's a really good answer if you're kind of like looking for a daily driver and want something that's like flush and don't really need a big heavy duty suspension. I think for the price and ride quality, it's nice. I also like that it's only a 2-inch lift, so you can sort of get that least amount of lift and still run a 37. Now, that's what both of these Jeeps have. They're running a 37 by 1250 Nitto trail grappler, and they have paired those with a 17-inch KMC Robbie Gordon series beadlock. Now, that beadlock is sort of a important sort of cog in this whole deal because it does have a numerically high backspace, and I believe it's around 4 3/4. I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong there, but that setup kind of reduces a lot of the scrub radius, making the steering not feel as heavy when these things are off-road, and it really makes it drive nice on-road. Now, both of them have the Fox ATS through-shaft adjustable stabilizer. That's another product I've got experience with in the past, and it is very effective. You know, I don't know how much it really takes out of some of the shimmy and a lot of people complain about with the steerings, but in general, the ATS is nice because it doesn't just give you one side pressure where your wheel is constantly floating one way. It sort of balances it out, and it has adjustability so you can tighten it up, and you're not going to have that push to the left or the right. So both of them got that set up. In terms of sort of aftermarket wears, they're both similar. The big thing up front you'll notice is they have Expedition 1. This is their sort of like full width style bumper. You still have pretty good cutout clearance for the front tire, and obviously you've got a space here for some aftermarket lighting. In terms of recovery gear, both are running a Warren ZEON 10S. This is a very fast spooling winch. Great experience with these things in the past. Pretty premium product for what it is. The synthetic Spydura rope is very easy to handle, and it doesn't weigh a lot, so very clean setup there. In terms of a little bit of rocker protection, even though the Rubicon does come with a decent set of sliders, they upgraded to the Expedition 1 series slider that has a little bit more of a step on it, which is probably definitely important for the white one, which actually has a roof rack. Now out back, both of the Jeeps are running a Expedition 1 tire carrier system. Now what this does is this relocates the stress that would be normally felt on the tailgate. It actually has a giant pivot at the bumper end, making it where you don't have to worry so much about the back bumper rattling and things like that. I had this set up in the past, a very good system overall. Still allocates a spot for your backup camera, and it has a pretty neat lockout, so if you're on the trail and you're off camera, you can set this thing all the way out and it'll lock in place. That big fan of that for sure. I think it's a really clean matching look. I think both brothers really kind of wanted that uniform finish. That's why they went with Expedition 1 all the way around the vehicle, and I think it was a good setup. Now, something that I think is worth mentioning, obviously they're both on a 37-inch tall trail grappler. These Nittos are very much so a true to size 37, and for anybody that's going to be running 2 inches of lift in 37, you should know that you're going to get into a little bit of rubbing, mostly in the plastic, not in anything that's really going to make a damage or cause an issue. But when this thing's fully stuffed, especially in the rear, you're going to grab a little bit of that inner plastic. Not a big deal. You can trim it out. These guys definitely take these things to your national forest a lot. We're here in southeastern North Carolina, so no matter if you're going to be wheeling in gulches or Uwharrie, or even if you're going to take a trip all the way up to one of my favorite places, which was Windrock, this is still a really good build that you can kind of traverse those trails and kind of take advantage of what the Rubicon already has. You've got good selectable front and rear lockers. This thing's got decent ground clearance from the factory, and by adding just a really assortment of parts that isn't over the top, you can go a lot further. So like I say, I was here working on the S10, saw these, thought they were cool, wanted to at least share with you guys. If you have any questions or comments, you can always put them in the section below. If you've got any direct questions for me, you can find me at Ollie Mansour Editor on Instagram. And until then, we hope to see you guys on the trail soon. Bye-bye.